Good morning, friends. I'm a minute or two early, but I got some stuff to do, so I haven't been here in a long, long time. So I'm just going to put some links in, some links to the printable that we're going to be using today, and a link to all my other printables, and a link to the wax that I'm using. I'm not a big wax girl, but I'm playing a little bit with wax lately. And one other thing I wanted to put in, I'm putting in the link to Robin's song because I used a lot of her paints today, Paint Couture. Okay, what time is it? It's still 2 minutes early. But I got all my work done here. I got all my links in. Okay. And I have sound, so that's a good thing. So I can turn the sound down. I don't even know if anybody will show up. It's been so long since I've been around. I think y'all forgot me. Which is fine, out of sight, out of mind. There's a reason that there's sayings like that, because they're true. Okay, so if you don't already know this, if you put exclamation point notify in the comments on this live or any of my lives on the Old to Ooh La La art page, you'll be audibly notified when I go live. And a lot of times I just go live, like I don't plan it. So that might be a good thing to do. Exclamation point, no space, notify. Okay. You know what? We're going to get started and people can just catch us on replay. So my friend Kim at Creating It Vintage by Kim does the most darling vintage stuff. My hay fever's kicked in. The weather's beautiful and it's time for hay fever. I did take a Claritin, but man, something's blooming. Where was I? Oh, Creating It Vintage by Kim. She completely inspired me. I like vintage stuff, but I was never like a big, dark, waxy, almost primitive looking. I was never like that girl. Turns out I am that girl because Kim inspired me. So Creating It Vintage by Kim, you're going to want to look her up. Let me see if I can get a link to her in the comments. Oh, I bet I can. Hold on. There it is. There. Okay, I put a link to her. She does some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Just beautiful. And she has so inspired me. So this entire live is inspired by Kim. So thank you, dear. Okay. So there's these sweet little boxes. They look like this. Little boxes. And I bought some on Amazon, but then they sold out of them. The ones that I bought are round. The round ones I bought on Amazon. But Hobby Lobby has these in every size, shape, and I mean, I think I spent $50 on paper mache containers at Hobby Lobby the other day. I got a huge bag full. So hearts and boxes and books with covers and all kinds of cool stuff. So Hobby Lobby has some really good stuff. Oh, hi, Donna. Yes, I did survive. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, those releases are always something, aren't they? I might be getting too old for that. Or maybe I've just been doing it too long. I think I've been doing it for like 7 years. I don't know. I don't know. Alrighty, so I've, first I got weird lights going on here. Hold on. I have created a new printable set, and it's called Easter Parade. And these are just a couple of images from that. These images are designed for the Le Cloche mold. I always, not always, often I include images that are sized perfectly for the Le Cloche mold and perfectly for the snow globe mold. And I was playing around and I was looking at the top of this and I thought, you know what? That's perfectly round. I wonder, so I went and I got a lid from my little, boxes, and I kind of slid it up there. And wouldn't you know, it perfectly, you lose just a little tiny bit down here at the bottom, but it's perfectly 3 inches of a circle up here, because these are 3 inches. So bonus, okay? So any of the collections that have Le Cloche mold images already sized for you fit perfectly on the round 3-inch chipboard tops. So that was kind of a nice find. I wasn't expecting it. Was not expecting it. So another thing that I've been doing, I watched this woman, Indigo Moon. I'm going to put a link to her as well. Indigo Moon Art, I think is her name. And, we've all blended over the years. But she, put it all down in videos, very concisely. And if you go and check out, I wish I could remember her first name, I'm sorry. If you go and check out her I think YouTube, and she has a lot of tutorials on blending on bottles, but I mean blending can be applied to anything. And so she really inspired me. I've done bottles in the past, but I've never blended to this extent, and it's been super fun. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done before we get started. So this beauty is from my Victorian Elegance ladies. It's a printable, and I did this bottle, and look at the blending. You can barely tell where that paper ends, which is the whole point. Yeah, so fun. Took hours and hours, but really, really fun. Really fun. And then, all the little doodads, and, I got to have my eyelash yarn on there. So that was one that I did. And here's another one that I did. I just love this little guy. This is actually usable. It's a cookie jar, or a jar for whatever you want to put in it. And it's a bunny from my, who's he from? Vintage Le Lapone, I think, is what he's from. And again, you can barely tell where the paper starts. It's just so fun. It's so challenging. The goal is to spread the picture out and make it look like it covers more area than it actually does. I'm going to be putting this up for sale, and the Vintage Lady is already up for sale. I'm going to put a link. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? I'm going to put a link to that Vintage Lady. Okay. I think. Huh. Hold on. I'll bet it's that. It is that. Okay. case anybody wants to look at more of the pictures. Thank you, Donna. All right, here we go. Here we go. So I've got these boxes. I did some of the work up front, or we'd be here for hours, and I just don't have that in me. So I went with, you know, the Easter pastels. This is Sophia, and that's a Paint Couture color from our friend Robin. I put a link in. This is a color, I didn't have a pink that I wanted in Paint Couture, so I just mixed it up myself with, this is called Ballet Pink, and I mixed it with some Farmhouse Linen, which is Paint Couture, okay, just to get a real pale. And then this is Misty Fjord, which is one of my very favorite greens. Look how different it looks after you wax it and distress it. Very cool. Okay, so after I paint the outside. This is the first time I've painted the inside. I have some other ones that I did, like this one here I did. And I didn't paint the inside, I just put this decorative crinkle in there. I did an image on the inside cover, but I didn't paint the inside. But I like the way the inside looks painted, so I will most probably continue to do it that way. So these are ready to go, and I thought we would put, he is my favorite little guy. Have you ever? He's just so dang sweet. I love him. So he's going on that kind of blue box. The color is Sophia from Paint Couture. So he's going here on the blue box. And then we've got these darling bunnies and carriages. So look how cute. This one has a little doll. And I love this one because look, there's like a little side window. He's riding the shotgun. I love that. We're going to use this one for the pink. These are the world's worst scissors. And I bought some new scissors, but I don't want to use them on paper because, you know, paper ruins scissors. But that's what I bought them for, is to use them on paper. So I guess I might as well use them. These, I just bought a brand new pair of man, are they good? Very good scissors. Okay. Where are we at? Let's cut these out. So because I know these fit perfectly, I'm going to cut exactly on the line. It was just such a happy accident that I noticed. I thought, hey, that curve looks just like the top of those paper mache boxes. And when I put it up to there, it was just like it was made for it. So, bonus. All right, so you don't have to cut the bottom off because you're going to sand the bottom off. And this guy, have you ever? In his little top hat? Ugh, so cute. Come on. So Donna, you ready for the heat? It's coming. I heard by the end of next week we'll be in the hundreds already, which is completely ludicrous. That's just, it's way too soon. But it beats being buried in snow, in my opinion. I don't think I do very well. I have lived in snow before, but I was much younger with a lot more energy and patience. I don't think I have either one of those things anymore. So I don't think I do well in the snow. So these are painted, but the goal is to get them kind of roughed up where the wax kind of seeps into the cardboard, okay? Because it can't really, it can lay on top of the paint, the wax, and this is the wax that I'm using. And I'm not a wax girl. Donna, you lived in the snow forever. I'm not a wax girl. I had to buy some wax because I don't, even back when I did furniture, I didn't do wax. I did polyvine. Yeah, wax is not my thing. But for this particular situation, I think you have to have, you don't have to have that. Look, I did this with just bare wax, like a can that I had on hand. I don't even know why I had it. But I like this liquid stuff better. So I bought some of that. So the goal is to rough these up. I'm going to put down some paper because it makes a lot of dust. To rough these up, get some of that cardboard exposed so it can grab onto that wax. And they're just painted inside with Farmhouse Linen Paint Couture, painted on the outside. I did that with a paint I mixed up myself. This is painted with Sophia from Paint Couture, and the inside is Farmhouse Linen. I put a link to our friend Robin in the top there. So this is called I think it's called a Gator. It's a really good sander. And what I liked about these boxes that I got at Hobby Lobby, 45 years. Man, oh man, you deserve some sunshine. Like these little, like they're not wrinkles, they're just where the paper's attached at the bottom, but look, they sand up really nice. So that makes like a really nice, look, really cool. So you're just gonna sand till you get some of that cardboard exposed. And that sanded pretty easy, but this part is not as easy to sand. So I usually take one of my bigger guns. And at least get it started. It's a workout. Come on. My suggestion is you only put one coat of, you know, we're kind of conditioned to do two coats of paint. You only have to do one coat of paint on these because you're going to, you know, distress them, and your paint job is not going to be very important. Plus then it just makes more that you have to break through. Oh, good Lord. You're kidding me. What in the world? I had a really good sander out here. I don't know what happened to it. Hold on. Let's try this stuff. The thing is, the bottom of this is a little bit concaved. I swear to you, it was not this hard when I did the other. There we go. Starting to get a little bit of breakthrough. This is what you want. You want this stuff here. I don't know why this one's so difficult. There we go. Makes a lot of dust. Okay. Then you're going to do the same thing to the sides. I like a lot of, as Kim taught me, a lot of distress on the edges. So I'm not worried about like uniformity or anything like that, okay? Just kind of going down on the edges, more in one spot than the other. Like that. And what you're going to get is you're going to get kind of like little ruffly bits that come up. Just take your sander and smooth those out. It's just the paper kind of ruffling up a little bit. So now you've got some nice distressing on your edges. If you want more, go in and do more. I like a lot. And if you're going to distress, you might as well distress, right? Okay, and then I kind of do the same thing to the top. The top does not show as much, obviously, because the top is on, But when you take the top off, you want it to look uniform. Okay, again, you're going to get little ruffly bits. Just take and smooth them out with your sander. Now you've got some nice. Now we're going to do this. And this is what we're looking for. That's where these come in handy. See, you want any place that hi Kathy, thanks for joining us. That's Kathy from Happy Crafting Circle, you guys. So see, you just want some of that cardboard to peek through. I'm using a lot of pressure here, okay? Can't be shy on this part or you'll be there all day. I find that if I hit it with this first, this is just a nail file from Dollar Tree, and then come back with my little gator, it breaks through easier. Oh, I know what's going on here. This is a blend of acrylic paint and mineral paint. It's not a pure chalk paint. Chalk paint distresses a lot easier. I couldn't figure out why this was so hard, that's why. Not impossible, but if you just painted like these, or yeah, these are Farmhouse Linen chalk paint from Paint Couture, and you'll see how much easier those distress. This we're almost having to go through like a sealer, like it kind of self-seals this paint, the mineral paint, which is nice unless you want to do something like this. Now I'm hot. I had like a sneezing attack this morning. And you know how you get so hot when you sneeze? And I've never really thought about that before. I wonder why that happens. Like you're burning up, like you're peeling clothes off, and at least I am. When I start to sneeze, oh my gosh, the temperature goes through the roof. Okay, look, this makes a lot of dust, which is why I put this down. I'm not going to clean it up yet, but look at all the dust that's in the bottom of there. Because now we're going to do one of these lids. I'm going to show you the difference between chalk paint and that mineral stuff that kind of seals itself. So we don't have to worry about the top because we're going to decoupage the top. So all we have to worry about is the sides. Again, I like to get a lot down here on my edges because this edge will really show even when the box is closed. That looks good. And then you get the kind of roughly stuff. Just go around with your sander and smooth that off. And then I do go around the middle. How much easier that comes off because it's chalk paint. I'm a cramp in my arm. Oh my gosh, Donna, I'll bet I've sneezed that many times. Man, and my husband gets like kind of irritated, which it is kind of irritating, but he always says so nice, honey, can I get you a Claritin? I know it's bugging him. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so now we've got some, I know this doesn't look too very impressive right now, but I promise you it's going to be. If you like this style. I didn't know I liked it until I watched Ken do it, and I thought, I like that. Okay, so I've taken all those kind of rough edges off of there. So now we've got a top and we've got a bottom. And we're going to work on those. If time permits, we'll do another one. I had planned to do two, but after all that sanding, let's move on for at least a minute so I can get a break from that. All right. So now we're going to, let's decoupage because that's fun. So for this pink one, I decided to use this carriage with the 3 bunnies, and there's pink flowers down here, and I think that'll really show nicely. There's always a seam on these. I try to put the seam to the side. I don't know why, just personal preference. And see, I cut that and it fits perfectly right up on there. First thing I'm going to do is grab some. I use Mod Podge. People use different stuff. This has always worked for me, so I'm perfectly okay with it. I did bring out a bunch of brushes. My arms hurt. You're right, Donna, my arms hurt. Okay, so this has just been painted with farmhouse linen. Nothing special. Okay, I didn't do anything else to it. I'm going to put a coat of decoupage medium on there. All the way to the edges. Edges are important because you're going to sand them. You don't want them pulling away and ripping your paper. So there's our decoupage. I generally spray my paper because I printed this. It's not rice paper, it's computer paper. It's a little bit thicker, and the minute it gets wet, watch what happens to it. So if the first time it gets wet is on your piece, it's going to curl up. So I make the front and the back wet. So it makes it lay right back down. Then I just kind of do this to get rid of the really, really wet parts. So now this paper is way more pliable, okay? Way more pliable, and we're gonna put it right here on this. Right up at the top. Make sure your sides are matched up. Perfect. Get a little piece of plastic. Yes, we could come a little closer, huh? A little piece of plastic. I don't really rub, I just kind of push, because even with the plastic on it, you can rip a tear in this. Not a wrinkle in sight, okay? So that's on there. We'll sand off the extra. Let's put that to the side. As long as we're decoupaging, we might as well decoupage this as well. Which means I have to do some more sanding. But that's okay. These are easy. The tops are easy because they're just chalk paint. They're not that mineral paint with a sealant on it. I mean, it still works, but it just takes a little more power. I like to get this bottom edge pretty roughed up because that's the part that's going to show. I generally put some kind of ribbon or something up around the top. See, like that. So not all this top doesn't really show. But I might not put ribbon up there, so you definitely want to rough it up. And then, of course, the middle. And I just kind of check it for a bit of uniformity. I mean, you don't want it to be, you know, supposed to be random, but okay, that works for me. A little bit of rough stuff around here. I just take this and kind of smooth it down. Let's get this dusty thing out of the way. And then I do try to dust this off a little. All right, let's put this guy on too. As long as we're decoupaging, we might as well do them both at the same time. So here's my seam. I always put it to the side. Don't ask me why. Have it. Make sure your decoupage medium gets all the way to your edges. Edges are very important. I try not to put my fingers on decoupage because when that medium soaks through, it's just so easy to tear your paper. Not so much with computer paper, but really easy with rice paper. Again, this is the Easter Parade set of printables that we're working with here today. Hi, Karen. Yes, Karen, this is this is the right place to put exclamation point notify. Bless your heart. Okay, so now we've got both of these guys. Let's dry them. Do not get too close, especially if you're using a heat embossing gun, because you can scorch your paper. I heat it from the back as well. You're probably wondering, why is she heating the back? Got some ruffly bits here that I'm just getting rid of. Okay, we'll let those cool. By the time they cool, they'll be dry-ish. We can move on. Hi, Karen. Should we do both of them? You guys want to do both of them? Let's do both of them. I got nothing else to do. All right, so the bottom, I'm going to do the bottom first. Put out something that'll catch all the dust. It's very dusty work. This is that beautiful Sophia color from Paint Couture. And again, this is that, excuse me, that paint that seals itself, that mineral paint. So, of course, it's being, you know what I didn't do, and I need to do it while we're doing that other stuff, so it can be drying. I put a coat of decoupage over. I should have waited till I took the edges off, because then I couldn't seal the edges, but we can come back and seal the edges. This just gives us a nice chance to dry. Now, I've heard people say that they get lines, like brush lines, with their decoupage, the cheap stuff, which is Mod Podge. So there are lines in that, but I find if I give it a second and then just go slow with a very light hand in the other direction, all the brush lines go away. I don't have any brush lines. Yeah. Not a one. Real light hand. Perfect. I don't know if you can see the brush line. You're not going to be able to see it. But if I just go the other way, I waited too long on this one. It dried too fast. Yeah, Donna, they're fabulous paints. I concur. And I know you've found Robin, so there is a link to her up in the comments at the very top. We always laugh. Robin's my online BFF. She's a quality woman. Really think very highly of her. All right, we'll give those a chance to. What were we doing? Oh yeah, sanding. my least favorite part. And I don't want that dust to go on my freshly decoupaged images. Come on, give me something. All right. It's kind of hard to see, but when the wax hits it, it'll get, yeah, she's a machine, isn't she? Robin, I don't know how she can do 2 lives a week. Well, I could do 2 lives a week, but I don't want to. I like quiet. I like to sit quietly and just kind of do my own thing. Kind of why I started my affiliate program for my printables, is so that other creators could create with the printables. Because I can't create, I can't keep up. Because I make a lot of printables. I would prefer to do printables than this at this point of my life. No paintbrushes to clean up. Sit in my lovely office and just work on my computer. I really like that. I I kind of dig into the sides a little bit. Like, this is good stuff. When that wax hits, it's going to be good stuff. Oh, well, Donna, you know, there's inspiration everywhere. And, you know, there's Pinterest. And then you see somebody do something and you're like, oh, I can put my own spin on that. And, you know, yeah, so it's all around. I got fuzzies, so I'm just kind of taking those off. This is a beautiful color. It's a kind of a mix between a green and a blue. Really pretty. All right. Home stretch on the sanding. See, and that's just what you want. All those little places where the cardboard's peeking through, you're going to pick up that wax and just make this look like magic, I think. Oh gosh, I love that collection, that Paris and Roses. Oh, I love that collection. I haven't thought, I think I'm going to do one of those images on a bottle. They just, oh yeah, I love those images. Thank you for recognizing my vision, Donna. Yeah. Of course, you know, anything, you know, kind of shabby chic in Paris, we're all in, right? Just getting the fuzzy parts off. All right, let's get rid of all this dust. I'm going to take both of these and I'm going to wipe them down with a paper towel. Okay, so now they're wiped down. Now comes the fun stuff. Let's try this a little bit. We still need a bit of time. Let's do some waxing. Okay, so I'm going to get a paper towel kind of wet. You can use a brush. You can use a damp paper towel. I've used both. I generally start out with a brush and then I switch to the paper towel. Don't ask me why. It's just what happens. All right, let's do Sophia first. So this is that home decor wax. It's very dark. Let's close this up. Those out of the way. I've got my wax. So I really want the edges to be dark. Any place that there's exposed cardboard, kind of work that area over. Then I come in with my damp paper towel and I kind of give it a bit of a wipe and a bit of a swirl, because I don't want like wipe marks. Look, isn't that delicious? That it's just so delicious. Okay, so then if you were just using a paper towel, you could dip in like this and you could just swirl it on this way, and then take the other side of the towel, or have two towels, and just swirl it back off. And if you get your towel, here's a perfect example. If you get your towel a bit wet, like if it's a little too dark, you can go like super dark, or you can go light. Like here, it's gone from kind of light to a little bit dark. If you get a wet paper towel, you can kind of even those tones out, because as long as the wax is wet, it's a water-based wax. Okay, so now the tone is the same all the way around. So good. And then I'm not even going to go back into the wax. I'm just going to, again, just kind of scrub it on a little bit, maybe go back in a little bit. I know, right, Donna? I'd never done it either, and I saw Kim at Creating It Vintage by Kim, and it's like, oh, I'm doing that. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm doing. Because what a perfect little avenue for my printables, right? I run out of things to put my printables on. Okay, so here, this is a little bit wet. I'm going to go with just kind of a scrubby kind of a situation and just lighten it up just a little bit, because I don't want it real dark. If you want it real dark, you don't have to do this part. I kind of like the actual paint color to show through. But there it is in all its glory. It's fabulous. Let's do the bottom. Again, a little bit on your paper towel. Swirl it around. Spend some time on that exposed cardboard. Okay, now if you like real dark, you could absolutely just leave it like that. If you like a bit of a lighter situation, you can come back in with a wet towel and remove most of the surface, and it'll still be in your cardboard exposed areas. And I kind of like to go around the edges like this. So I like my edges real dark. So I'll take my brush, get a little bit of, and just kind of, if you're going like this, it just soaks into that cardboard. Really makes it look nice. And I only do this bottom edge because that top edge is going to be covered by, you know, by the top all the time, so I don't worry about that. So voila, there it is. How cool is that? That is gorgeous. So that's our Sophia box. It is definitely worth all the sanding. I was hoping you guys would see that and not bail on me. Not that there's many of you to bail. You can really tell when you've been out of the loop by how many people come and watch your live, because, yeah, I haven't been here in a long time, and it reflects in my numbers. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of wax. Now this is our pink. This is the pink that the pink color that I kind of made myself. I'm going to really concentrate on that exposed cardboard. Now some people love that. They love that real dark. And I love it too. But I don't know, not for these. These are Easter, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wet towel and I'm going to expose the actual pink paint. Okay? And if I use a swirly motion, I don't get like brush stroke marks. You can come back in, lay a little bit more along the edges, like this. And then you could take this and you could just pat it. This is the wet towel. You could just pat it like this. Do a little situation like that. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like stitching, doesn't it? All right, let's do this. So I've got my paper towel, and I'm just going to swirl. Come on. Swirl this on, paying attention to my edges. Do about, I don't know, a third or a quarter at a time. Okay, now some people love that really, really dark. I love it too. Not for this particular project, so I'm gonna wipe some of the wax back so I can see that that's pink, a nice pink under there. So you see the wax stays in the exposed cardboard because that really sucked that up, but the paint kind of rebuked it. It's a weird word. Still beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but lighter because it's Easter and I wanted it to be lighter. I'll put a little bit more wax in my jar top, dip in, swirly swirl. Get my wet towel. Take some of that off. Because I want the pink to show through. And then you can take, this towel that has all the wax on it, and you can take it like this, and you can kind of go like this. See how I'm just kind of doing that? I'm just kind of pouncing on some stuff, but then I'm still going to take my wet and kind of just blend that out a little bit. Completely up to you what look you want. So I did add a little bit more wax in there, but it didn't cover the whole area. It just put a little bit more wax on there, but I can still really see the pink. Okay. I forgot to do that with this. I don't think this one needs it, but we'll do it anyway. And I don't think I'm even going to go over that with I think I'll just kind of blend it out with my hand. Beautiful. Let's do the tops. Just take your brush and go around the top. And I usually take my finger and go like this. Take it off of the edges. Then I take this thing that has lots of wax on it, okay? And I'm going to go inside, look, and I'm just going to do that. I'm not worried about if it looks perfect. I'm just trying to get that not so pristine down in there. And I'm just taking what's left on my towel, and I'm just kind of making the inside of this kind of vintage looking, very, it's not uniform, but look at that. Fabulous. Come over here and get a little bit more. Even that up a little bit. Even this up right here. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Even though I put the decorative crinkle in it, I like that because it looks finished. So we'll do the same thing with the pink one. And you're just taking this old towel that you've kind of, you might have to put a little bit more wax on it, but kind of blend it out on the towel. And then you're just going around inside over that farmhouse linen paint and just giving it a little vintage glow. Okay, got my sides all done. Now I'll take this part, it's got a lot, I'll go down on the bottom and just kind of swirl it around. It's not, you're not looking for perfection, you're looking for very random, because in nature things would be very random. So how cool is that? Kind of take my fingernail and put it there and try to get that rim down in there as best I can. It's hard to get into that area. But look, isn't that the coolest? It just looks so genuine, like that really happened over time. I love it. Okay, so we've got those done. Now we just need to do our tops and we're finished. All right, we're still going to use that. These guys dry. Give it one more little kiss of heat. Oh yeah, this would be a perfect, you know, it's a quick little project. It's not hard. It's not complicated. The results are just, here's the results. Look. This is one that I did off camera. This is the one I did with the Misty Fjord, and I put the little lace around the top. This is what it looks like finished. Absolutely adorable. Some decorative crinkle inside. I get this at Hobby Lobby as well. And, you know, and the inside's all antique. So, you know, you could put little, I don't know, anything. Little jelly beans or chocolate, you know, chocolate wrapped eggs or anything. You put anything in there. So that's what one of them looks like, all finished. Cute, huh? And those bunnies are from Easter Parade Printables. All right, let's get these guys a little bit more. Hi, Claire. Oh, these are so delicious. Look how delicious these are. Oh, didn't know I love that stuff so much. So now I'm just going to take earrings. What do you mean? These? That's big. A 3-inch earring? Explain yourself, woman. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to go around the whole perimeter, okay? Straight down one direction. No, none of this. No seesaw stuff, okay? Straight down one direction. My suggestion is to go around the entire perimeter because, you know, you could have a little bit of overhang up here that you didn't know about. Just give it a nice edge all the way around. I'm going to come back in with my other little softer sander and kind of smooth that out. I take my hand and I feel it. It's nice and smooth. Okay, let's do this guy. Oh, it's perfect. That's the perfect size to put little earrings in. absolutely. Anything tiny, you know, you could fit a gift card in there. You can make these all year long, any season. I'm going to do one next live. I have a deeper box, and I have an egg that I'm going to paper mache and nest it, or, you know, printable, put a printable on it, and nest it down in that box. It's going to be really cute. More sanding. Okay, look. Your instinct is to pull this off. Don't pull it off. Let the sanding take it off. If you pull this, you could rip into your image, okay? So just keep going until it comes away by itself, all right? Let the file do the work for you. And see, I've got a little bit of overhang here, even though it's at the top. So I'm going to go all the way around the box and make sure that the edges are smooth. Oh, look, little sister bunny is, and she has a teddy bear. Or a teddy bunny. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm going to take this and I'm going to smooth it out. I'm going to take my hand, make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay, so there's our tops. I'm going to take a little bit of Mod Podge. That's why really you should Mod Podge. I did Mod Podge out of order, but I wanted these to dry. So you could do all of this Mod Podging stuff kind of together. And I'm just hitting the edge of this, just the edge, because I want to make sure that I don't have any situations where it, you know, comes up. I'm going to run my finger around it. I'm just kind of basically sealing the edge of this. Just like this, right on the edge. Take my finger. There, now we're all sealed up. I got a little bit of a fuzz piece right there. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so there's our tops. We're going to wax those. Again, we're going to do the same routine. This brush is pretty dry with wax. I think I'll probably just use the brush because this is a small area. So I'm going to come and I'm just going to, I'm going to do this. Like I said, I always start out with a brush and I always end up going back to this. Make sure you get up at the top real good. Come back in with the wet wipe. This looks amazing on farmhouse linen, in my opinion. You can make it as dark or as light as you want, but how fabulous is that? That's just so good. Okay. A little bit more wax in my top here. Ta-da! Hi, Sandra. then I can come with my brush, and I usually go around this top little piece right here where the paper meets the container, and I go like that with my finger, kind of like where you put the Mod Podge. And I'm just making sure that that's like the edges of the paper don't show the white core of the paper. You don't want that to show. Okay, wet. Let's do inside our lid with our piece that has a lot of the wax on it. Just going to rub it around inside here. Give this some oldness. Is that a word? Now you could certainly decoupage inside this if you wanted to, but I think that looks amazing just like that. Like here in this one, I had an extra image, so I just made it circular and put it on the inside. And I really waxed the inside of the top of that. All right, now, the face of your thing. You don't want a lot, but you want a little. And even though it's sealed, it can still absorb this stuff. So I start kind of easy at the corners just to see what it's going to do. Okay, and then I might go like that just one time and then come back in right away with the red or the wet and make it kind of brighter in the middle, and then it's kind of haloed with wax around the edges. He's done. Isn't he darling? And he goes on the Sophia box. Is that the cutest ever? So cute. I'm going to put some ribbon on him though. Okay, so he's done. Let's finish these gals up. Yeah, what kind of wax are you using? Sandra, in the comments in the very beginning, I put a link to the wax. All the links are in the first part of the live, honey. There's the link for the printables, for the wax. I got my boxes at Hobby Lobby. I got some first on Amazon, but since I've got them, they've been sold out every time I've gone back to look. So I went on an in-person search, and I hit the jackpot at Hobby Lobby. They have tons of paper mache boxes in all shapes and sizes. But a big old bag full of them, which I always do, and then I'm buried in supplies out here. I'll use one or two things. When I'm buying them, I think, oh, I need these. I'm going to make blah, 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 blah. And I never do. Does that sound familiar? But I have the supplies in case I ever want to. So there we go. That's all done. Let's do the inside. You saw on that other one that I put the image inside, you could come in and you could actually brush wax in here and make the inside like very dark if you wanted to. All kinds of things you can do with that wax. Just whatever you like. Coming into, it's a little dark. it's all done. So cute. Let's do this top. I come around with, oh, I don't know about a master, but thank you so much. Thank you. I've credited this, the inspiration for this, to my friend Kim at Crafting It Vintage by Kim. Like, hardcore vintage is not really my thing. I consider this like almost primitive, which has never really been my thing. But then I saw her do a couple of things. I'm like, hey, I like that. So all kudos to her. And I put a link at the beginning of the live to her page if you want to go check her out. She's quite the talent. And she does very, very vintage. She's very, very good at this thing here. This is kind of like almost my maiden voyage here on this stuff. This is not generally what I do. Well, you know, if you follow me, this is not generally my wheelhouse. But I really like it. And it's fun to do something different and new, isn't it? Yeah, speaking of different and new, Claire, you weren't here when I showed. I've been doing, I need a break from that. I've been doing bottle blending. This is from my Victorian Elegance collection, my printables, and I've been blending on bottles. And there she is. Isn't she something? All blended. Very challenging. Lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. And then Percival, his name's Percival. He's actually a cookie jar. And I blended him. And he's from the Le Lapone collection. Vintage Le Lapone. Any cute? So yeah, so I've been kind of doing that. I've learned 2 new things in the last couple of weeks. Or tried 2 new things that are kind of new to me. So does the wax need a sealer? We're going to address that in just a moment. Okay, so everything's done. We didn't do anything here yet. So I'm going to put a little bit around the edge like we did on the other one. Take my finger and do this. I'm going to do this. Do just a quick, like a quick go over like this with this dirty, because you want to get a little bit of it, and then I take my wet and I make just the center of it lighter, so you have a nice kind of a shadow all the way around the edge. Okay, there we go. We've got the little boy bunny box, and we've got our little sister bunnies in the carriage. How cute they are. In pink. Let's put some ribbon on this stuff. Okay, does the wax need a sealer? Let's talk about that right now. No. Wax, because it's wax, once it's dry, it's, I don't know what the word is, kind of seals itself. I'm going to hit these just real quick. Make sure everything's dry. Now the thing with wax, and this is why I never used it when I painted big pieces of furniture, is it needs to be buffed or burnished. I don't know, there's probably a correct word for it. I don't know what that word is. So you want a soft cloth. I take a paper towel and I do this. Make it nice and soft. This is dry, dry, dry. Okay, I can feel that it's dry. And it's more about friction than it is about pressure. So you're going to go like this, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it start to get really slick. and then you'll see the sheen come to it, where there's no sheen over here, there's sheen here, and you'll be able to see the sheen right there. You'll be able to feel the difference, like the difference from here where I just burnished that to over here where it's not been burnished. This is very rough, kind of matte, and this is silky. Okay, so that's all you're going to do is take and go all the way around after your wax is completely dry, and you're going to basically polish the wax into a nice sheen. You see it? Now, I don't know if you could put Mod Podge over this. I don't know why you would have to. I didn't. I think Kim said something about doing a live with that, so I'll be looking out for that. So, see the sheen on there? There's sheen on there that is not on here, okay? This is very matte and very flat. I'll show you again. I'll take one part and polish it. Can you imagine doing this to a whole piece of furniture? No, thank you. So there it is, all burnished. See the sheen on that? And over here, not burnished. No sheen, just flat. So that's the deal. Take it and just go all the way around. And it's more about friction than it is about pressure. I do take and go just around the inside of this, just a little bit, not a ton. There's not a lot of wax in there, but there's still wax in there. You can still get it to buff up a little bit, just like that, just like this. Just like that. Do our lids. Excuse me. See how that shines? Can you see that? Hold on. Darn it, it's hard to get on camera, but I can see it a lot. And it's very, very slick, very satiny. I also do the fronts because we got a little bit of wax on the front. I'm going to put some ribbon, I think just on one of them because I haven't found the perfect ribbon for the third one yet, so I'll have to do that off camera. And I'll be posting these for purchase at some point, probably in the next week. I think 3 boxes for $20 sounds about right. You're never going to get your time. You're never going to get the time you've invested. I learned that a long time ago. But that's okay, because the joy of making it is worth it to me. I love to make stuff. So here's our little 3 set. Look, how sweet is that? Oh, they're just so darn sweet. I love them. And then the sides, beautiful. This one already has the ribbon on it. I picked out a perfect ribbon for, which one was it? I think it was this one. I think now this ribbon I put around the top, which I like. This ribbon I think I'm going to put around the box itself. If I put it up here, all that work I did disappears. I do like that, but I like that too. So I'm going to put it around there. Okay. I'm going to use this Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. Leave your lid on so you know placement, okay? Because you want it centered between here and here, at least I do. And if that lid's off, it's deceptive. I love this ribbon because it's lace, but it's also burlap, which I love. I think I got it at, I'm going to say Michael's. How cute is that? Is it even? No. But that's okay. You got a little time to play around. All right. Here's the thing, you know, you could put it on with hot glue and it would stay on right away. But what I've noticed over the years, if hot glue is the only thing you're attaching with, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come off. It's just the nature of hot glue. It just pop right off at some point. Might be a year or two down the road, but you can put a little bit of glue and hot glue at the same time, but it's kind of redundant on just glue. But the hot glue does keep it in place, so you can not be chasing it all over like I am right now. So I'm going to hold it down like that and put the rest of my Isn't that sweet? And then we're going to do one more thing to this ribbon and then we'll be done. Like I said, I haven't found the perfect ribbon for the other little box, so that's going to be something I do at a later date. Alright, the trick is getting this cut exactly where it needs to be cut, I find. So let's see. Pretty good. Pretty good for a beginner. There we go. You can barely tell. So there we go. We've got these 3 sweet little boxes. They're done. I lost the cap to this glue, and I put just here, here's a little FYI for you. I put a straight pin in it, and it rusted, and it completely clogged the top, so I had to take it in and rinse it out and dig all that rust out of there. So I just took a skewer top, it's wood, and put it in there, and now it's fine. All right, let's show these little guys. So here they are, cute as can be. We've got our little couple in the Easter parade. A little bit of ribbon around the top. The inside, I put that decorative crinkle in there, and I've also waxed the inside very, very lightly. So there's one. This is our three little bunny sisters in a egg carriage, which is so cute. And I just put this. Oh, I was going to do something. Shoot. I usually do this to my ribbon because see how white that is? It's really white. I'm going to take this brush that was in my wax, and it was in my water, but that's okay because I don't want a lot on it. And very lightly, I'm just going to go over the white to kind of tone it down just a little bit. It's subtle, but it helps. I'm just getting that white more vintagey looking. Whoops. There's just the barest amount of wax on this brush. There, that makes me happy. So we've got the little sisters in the egg carriage. Again, we wax the inside. The bottom's all done. So there's that, and this is my favorite guy. Could he be cuter? In his little waistcoat. He's all antiqued. And antiqued on the inside. There you go. There they are. Our three little guys. Aren't they the cutest? Let's see if I can get them all three in the picture. Probably not. It's the best I can do. I'm going to put another couple of links in here because I like to put links at the top and the bottom. I'm going to put in a link again for the Printables, the Easter Parade, they're called. And then I'll put in a link for the wax. Someone was asking me about the wax. I think Sandra asked me about the wax. And what else? That's a link for all of my printables. And this is a link for Robin's paint. Okay, that's it for me today, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I don't know when I'll see you again, but I imagine I will see you again. Send me pictures if you guys make some, okay? Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Love you bunches. Thanks for being here. Bye.